All right, Larry Kruger here from the Pig and a Pickle Crew Show with a little Golden State Warrior video. And of course, Pig and a Pickle, two locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Get the brisket. Go get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon and Mary and tell them that Krug sent you. And of course, this video is brought to you by Mojo Fantasy. Check the link in the description. Make sure you use that promo code KRUG, KRUEG, and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. And everybody who does it will automatically be entered into a drawing to win a Nick Bosa or a Brock Purdy jersey on Thanksgiving night during our postgame show after Niners Seahawks. All right, let's talk a little Warriors. Warriors off to a hot start. They're looking good. And there's a date coming up here, first week in November, where they, potentially can add one more player to their roster. And the question is, will they? Should they? And of the available players, who's the most attractive out there? And there are a bunch of names. I did a deep dive on this, looking at all the different possibilities. First of all, let's look at Golden State's roster. They've got Looney and Trace Jackson Davis, the rookie from Indiana, in the front court, along with Draymond Green, Dario Saric, and then Usman Garuba's got a two-way deal. Garuba's kind of intriguing. He's a 6'8" player with 7'2" length who shot 41% from beyond the arc. So those are their five bigs. Then you got Wiggins and Kuminga at the small forward spot. And then you have eight guards. You got Klay Thompson. You got Moses Moody, Luis Quinones, Pajemski, the rookie out of Santa Clara, at the two guard spot. So you got four two guards, and then you got Steph and Paul and Corey Joseph and Gary Payton. So you got eight guards, two swingmen, and five bigs. So I think if you really look at things objectively, even though there are some intriguing free agents that are guards, it's kind of a guard heavy team, and they probably could use a big man. The Warriors have to add another player by November the 6th. So they got a few days. Now, will they? Some people think they won't add that player, but I think if they're going to add a player, we'll go through what the options are and who looks best. All right, let's go through some of the guards that are out there because I don't think they're going the guard route, but there's some interesting names. Kendrick Nunn is available. Really exciting player off the dribble. A couple of years ago, I was more excited about this next name, but Will Barton. Will Barton's an interesting player. Terrence Ross is a swing man who can, shoot the ball and run the floor. He's kind of a 2-3. You could bring back Rudy Gay if you wanted to. Rudy Gay, though, only shot 25% on threes last year. And I just think that I don't think the Warriors really need another long in the tooth guy. I think they've got enough veteran leadership on this team. I think they actually need more of a live body than Rudy Gay. So I'd pass on Rudy Gay. Um, and then there's, Javante Green, who's a two-way guard who they had in there earlier. There's the former Warrior, baby big dog, Glenn Robinson III. You could go with him. He's an athlete. Hamidou Diallo is out there. What an athlete he is. I mean, he is a freaky athlete. He can really get up and down, but he can't really shoot it. He's only a 23% three-point shooter. I don't know that he fits on this team. He seems almost like kind of a redundant part. I guess if I was going to go with a non-big man addition, the guy that probably intrigues me the most is Stanley Johnson, the former, McDonald's All-American, Arizona Wildcat. He's a two-way wing. He shot 45% from three. He's bounced around a little bit, played with the Lakers. Stanley Johnson's got a strong athletic body. He can guard probably threes and fours. Maybe you could play him as a kind of a small ball four, or he's a three who's kind of emerging as far as a three-point shooter. He's interesting to me. He's the one guy that doesn't have size that if I was going for just, somebody else that wasn't a big man on this team, Stanley Johnson probably would be the guy that I would call. That would probably be the guy that I would lean towards. But as I said, I really think the Warriors need another big man. Looney, is lumbering a little bit. Trace Jackson Davis, I love, and I think he's going to get some minutes this year. But he's a rookie, so Draymond Green's older. He's going to miss some time this year for sure. Saric was a real nice pickup because he got great basketball IQ, but he has also had a major knee injury, and you wonder if he'll need some rest. I like Garuba and the athlete that he is. He's a 6'8" player, but with incredible length and an improving 3-point shot. But to me, just when you look at the fact that, you know, Garuba's a total unknown, Jackson's a rookie, Jackson Davis, Trace Jackson Davis, and then Saric, Looney, and Green. Um, there's not a 7-footer in the bunch. In fact, Saric is about 6'10", Green's 6'8", Looney's probably 6'9". It's a very small team. And you've got the champions are the Denver Nuggets. They've got size. The Lakers are in your division. They've got size. The Suns have size with Nurkic and KD. So there's size. There's some good big men, excuse me, in this conference for sure, and in this Pacific Division. I think Golden State needs a big. All right, let's go through the bigs that are available because they come in all shapes and sizes, and there's a bunch of different guys and with different kinds of big men. So let's go through the list. Um, there's Bismack Biyombo, but I believe he just signed. He just signed with somebody else. So Bismack Biyombo is a name that a lot of people have thrown out there. I don't like him anyway because he can't shoot at all. He's a really weak free throw shooter. He's solely a rebounder, shot blocker. He's a defensive player solely. So even though he's no longer available, I wouldn't have gone that direction. Then there's Blake Griffin, who you could reunite Blake Griffin and Chris Paul. Um, Great. Blake Griffin's a below the rim player now. It's interesting. He was an above the rim player for so long, such a high flyer. He jumped over a Kia at the All-Star weekend. And, he was such an above the rim guy, but he's such a below the rim guy now, and he's a little old. I don't think they need Blake Griffin. I think he's a little too old for what they're looking for. Now, everybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Frank Kaminsky. I loved him at Wisconsin. I think he's a really high basketball IQ guy. He's only 30, so he's in his prime. He's a big man that can shoot the ball. But he did sign to play in Serbia. He's in Serbia playing. So I think he's probably committed to playing in Serbia. Now, would he rather play in the NBA for the Warriors than play professionally in Serbia? You can bank on that. But I just don't know. To me, it seems like if he kind of committed over there, and I just think he's probably going to give it a go over there for at least a period of time. But I love Kaminsky. Kaminsky would absolutely be on my short list of big men that I would be interested in. Why? Because he's in his prime. He knows how to play, and he's one of the few bigs available that can stretch the floor and pass the ball. He understands good shot selection. I think Kaminsky's a really high IQ player, and I think he would be a great addition for the Warriors. But as I said, he's playing in Serbia, and I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. So there you go. There's Kaminsky. Then there's Dwayne Dedman, who's an interesting player, big man, athletic, multi-skilled. A lot of people feel like Dwayne Dedman has too high of an opinion of Dwayne Dedman, so he may not necessarily fit in. Then there's Myers Leonard, who, 2 years ago or whatever it was, a few years back, made an anti-Semitic slur on a Twitch video game and was kind of persona non grata and out of the league for a while. But he's made amends. He came back with the Bucks. He was with the Blazers this summer. I don't know what his status is, but he's another guy, 7'1" player, not old. He can shoot the basketball. He knows how to play. He's interesting because he does stretch the floor and give you what you don't have right now, or at least you don't have other than Saric, which is a big man who can shoot the perimeter shot. Um, Then there's Nerlens Noel, and Noel is a shot blocker. He's a rebounder. I thought he was kind of an interesting player not that long ago, but I kind of wonder if if he's kind of played his best basketball. If he's kind of already on the downside. Then there's the veteran Taj Gibson. Now Gibson's interesting because he is a really heady veteran. He's played a lot of his career east. I don't know if you'd want to play on the West Coast, but Taj Gibson's interesting. He's lean, he's smart, he can run the floor, he can block shots. No real offensive game to speak of, but you can throw him the lob, and you've got to defend the rim with a guy like Taj Gibson. But he might be a little bit long in the tooth for what we're talking about here. There's Derek Favors, another guy, kind of old. You know, it's funny. It's like you look at this list, you got some guys who are a little too old, and then you got some guys that are a little too young. And you really want somebody who's kind of in the prime of their career who's ready to contribute right now. That's why, to me, Kaminsky is so interesting. That's why Myers Leonard is so interesting. I've had people suggest, hey, man, give Kai Jones another shot. And I don't know what's going on with Kai Jones, but he's off his rocker. I don't know if he's on drugs. I don't know what his situation is. He was sweating in a YouTube video. He was on IG looking saying crazy things. He says he's better than Steph. All of his teammates unfollowed him on the Instagram. He might be just going through just like I don't know what's going on. I mean, he's a young player who I don't know. I mean, he's very, very athletic. He's very, very talented, but you get the sense that he's also a major sideshow with all kinds of things going on in his life. And I don't know that the Warriors want to get involved there. I mean, he's probably the biggest talent that we've thrown out on this list so far. If you just look at his athleticism, his ability to run, jump, finish, score, block shots, two-way player. But I don't know. I mean, he's just he's said so many irregular, crazy things that I just think stay away. Steer clear of Kai Jones. Then there's Isaiah Todd, who's only 22, another young big man with a lot of talent, but does he know how to play? The Warriors I think are done with guys that don't know how to play basketball. And Isaiah Todd came out early and of ability, but does he know how to play? Does he understand good shot selection? Can he contribute to a winner? Can he play sporadic minutes and stay professional? I don't know. He's a 22-year-old kid. To me, that might be a little on the young side. So, even though Kai Jones is talented, even though Isaiah Todd is talented, they may be a little bit on the young side. So, what do we got now? So, we're going through a bunch of names. I like Kaminsky, but he's in Serbia. I think Myers Leonard has been properly rehabilitated from his worst moment in life over Twitch, but I don't know what his status is right now. Is he available? Is he hurt? He was with the Blazers. Now he's not. Then you got some older guys who can do some things, block some shots, but maybe not offensive players. The one name that's kind of interesting to me that I think I would put on the top of this list is Wenyen Gabriel. Now, Wenyen Gabriel is a power forward, played at Kentucky. He's now 26. He's not a great three-point shooter, 27% on threes, but he is a bouncy, long athlete who can really finish, run up and down, block shots. I think he can play within the team concept. I think he's old enough to have had a has had multiple runs around the league. Um, that would probably be the guy that I would go for if I was Golden State. Just looking at, I like Kaminsky, I like Myers Leonard, but I think I would go Wenyen Gabriel. You got 8 guards, you got 5 bigs. You got to have a big. You got to have, if you're going to add anything to this mix, it's got to be a big man. Um, and I like Wenyen Gabriel. I like the fact that he runs the floor. I like the fact that he's incredibly active. He's got great length. He can play the 4, the 5. He can block some shots. He can rebound the basketball. He can get up and down. He's healthy, really long arms, really good bouncy big man with great length and great upside. He's improving. I think his shot selection's improving. I've seen him the last couple of years, with the Lakers look pretty good at times. I like what I've seen from Wenyen Gabriel. So there you go. There's the Warriors have until they got to add another player by November the 6th if they decide to. And there's a bunch of options out there. If they're going with a small player, I would say Stanley Johnson, two-way wing who shoots 45% from three. If you're going with a bigger player, man, I'd love to have a big man who can shoot and stretch the floor like a Kaminsky, like a Myers Leonard. But if those guys are not fits and you're looking for another big man who can get up and down and play off the bench, I'd go with Wenyen Gabriel. I really would. 26 years old, very bouncy, very athletic, good attitude. He's got proper experience. He's not too young. He's not too old. I think he would give this team length and athleticism. If you Trace Jackson Davis is the guy that I would play big minutes. I think he's ready to play. And even though if I got a Wenyen Gabriel and I'd want Gabriel, I still would like to play Trace Jackson Davis big minutes. I think that ultimately is your decision in the front court. You got Looney, you got Draymond, Sarge is going to play a little bit. Um, Play the rookie Trace Jackson Davis. But I still would add another big player if I could. And I'd add Wenyen Gabriel because, Garuba is more of a ground bound player. He's got a 3-point shot, but it's more of a set shot. He's got great length to block shots, but he doesn't get off the ground great. And he doesn't get up and down with any speed. Gabriel you can play up tempo ball. And, with a guy like Wenyen Gabriel, I mean, he's not JaVale McGee, but you can throw him the lob and he can finish at the rim. He can block some shots. He's very active, plays with a ton of energy, can get up and down if you decide you want to run, can be a contributing player, I think, off the bench. And he played a up tempo style at Kentucky. I think he's just about to play his best basketball right now. So there you go. That's what I would do. If you're going with a small man, I'd go Stanley Johnson. If you're going with a big man, I'd go Wenyen Gabriel, the 26-year-old power forward slash center. I like what I've seen out of Gabriel. All right. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. And thanks to Mojo Fantasy. Check that link in the description and make sure you use the promo code KRUG, KRUEG, to get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. And everybody who registers at mojo.com and types in that promo code Krug automatically is entered into a chance to win a Brock Purdy or a Nick Bosa jersey on Thanksgiving night. So good luck to everybody on that front. And thanks to once again, thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.